What's up, everybody? Jaxxsin here, and today I want to talk about a comment I had on my channel the other day. It's a very interesting comment. It got me to thinking, had my trail of thought going all over the place, and I thought it'd make a great video. And the question was by Guard3 on my Hollow Knight critique and review video. It said, also, did the game accomplish its task if you have to turn to the internet to find out what's going on? Alright, now, aside from the obvious, like, he's just adding on to a point that he's only made to himself in his own head, since there is no other comment by him, and he's starting it off with, also, like, on top of the point I've already fucking proven to me. Okay, but the thing that really started me thinking about this is it's like, okay, in this case, obviously, I think he's talking about, I mean, he could be talking about story, but it's not like the internet is the only place that contains the story, like in the case of Destiny. And that's where one of my trails went, was into Destiny and the way they did their story, and how people who complained about it, I know people who complained about it who also like Dark Souls. I'm one of them. I love that Dark Souls story isn't immediately apparent and that you have to search the game in order to find it, you know, vis-a-vis items, hidden NPC, quest lines, you know, all sorts of shit, right? Just great replay value in the game. The difference between that and what Destiny did was Destiny had you search, yeah, it had you explore, yeah, but it was just to find a ghost, and then you picked up the ghost, and then you had to go to their website in order to read any story bit detailing the ghost. It wasn't the exploring for the story that I was opposed to in Destiny, it was the fact that the story wasn't in the game at all. It was not, you know, these were bits of story that were, you know, there as a tool to keep, you know, their retention high on their website and get all that bullshit. It's like pretty fucking brilliant is what it is. I mean, you got a game where your inventory management is handled on your mobile phone. So, I mean, that's all I really need to say about that. But so that was my problem with that in Destiny. It's not even like the lore videos. I think those guys that do the lore videos are pretty fucking hardcore cool dudes. I think if you care enough about the little that Destiny has to offer and the little that it has to go, I think a lot of those guys just could feel like what I think a lot of us felt with Destiny, was that epic greatness that was just lingering there. And they took it upon themselves, since they couldn't find it and Bungie wasn't going to give it to them. They took it upon themselves to create it and, you know, give it to the world. But and that's the thing, though. I don't think he's talking about the story, because Hollow Knight, all the story is there. I mean, you're meeting NPCs from the jump. You're getting you know, an opening cutscene with a story bit at the beginning of the game. You're, like I said, NPCs all over the place, and they all have, you know, interesting things to say about the lore. You find statues that give you story, right? So Hollow Knight, if you're going to the internet for the story, then you're going to, like, say, the Hollow Knight Vadividya, whoever you are. If you don't exist yet, you should do it. It's a fucking great game. I'd love to watch some lore videos on it. Personally, don't have the fucking patience to do it. I did it once with Bloodborne. I just don't have the patience to do lore videos. It's a lot of in-game time and a lot of, you know, checking back and forth with items and other things that are available. Just too much goddamn fucking taxing work for me. But I'm saying that's what you would be going to see lore videos on Hollow Knight, you know what I mean? Or you'd be going to, you know, a Reddit forum or somewhere where someone's posted, you know, like, this is my thoughts on the story, this is what I think it means. Or you're just, like, playing the game and you're kind of taking away with it what you got from the game, you know what I mean? And you're getting the story from the game. I personally haven't looked up anything on Hollow Knight, and I could tell you my theory about what it is. I don't know if it's 100% correct, because like I said, it's just based on the things I was able to find while I played the game, through exploration, story bits, NPC quest lines, things like that. So, the next thing was, the cool train of thought I had was, is it doing its job if you have to go online in order to find out things about the game? Like, say there's an area or an item that you know you're missing for, say, an achievement or a trophy or some such bullshit, right? And you have to go on, look up the trophy, look up the achievement, whatever, and you have to go find out where that boss is, or where that is, you know what I mean? I personally had to do this on a couple of different, I had to do it on 2 of the hidden bosses that were the reward bosses, which, from what I understand in Hollow Knight, the free DLC they gave to this people who bought this, I think it was $15 or $20 when I bought it, free DLC on top of a 40-hour already playthrough for me personally. So that's fucking awesome. But so there were 2 of those that I had to look up, and I had to look up how to get into the white world. I don't remember what it's called, but it's there's a boss in there, and you get, it's like something you have to do that's key to like the secret ending where you fight the celestial boss or whatever it was. I can't recall. It's been quite a while since that playthrough. And I just started playing it again just recently to get some footage for this, and I am just blown away at how amazing this game is. I just want to, that's another trail of thought I went into with this. It's just, this game is a fucking masterpiece for what it is. And I mean, on top of that, they're giving free DLC. You know, they're doing that's the thing that keeps their game relevant. It's like Shovel Knight. It's like all these things that where they actually care about the fucking gamer, right? It's not about fucking the gamer. It's about, hey, we'll do a fucking new DLC for free. It benefits all of our previous customers and gives them good faith to continually be, you know, purchasing our products later on down the road. And it's going to give us, you know, news coverage. They'll say, oh, look at this game that's giving out free DLC and it's pretty good and like blah, blah. It's smart. It benefits them. It drives new sales. And so to get past, obviously that had nothing to do with where I was going. What I was saying is, in my opinion, when I hit those points where I'm stumped, where I'm like stumped, where I can't figure out where to go, what to do, you know, I've been all over the place, and I lean towards the internet and I Google something, and it, you know, immediately I find somebody who's like me, who had just solved the solution, and they had the fucking ability to now tell me, because they were like, man, that was a bitch. I'm gonna save that and I'm gonna make a video about it, or I'm gonna, you know, save that and I'm gonna put it online and, you know, in the wiki. I'm gonna do all these different things that is a community of people talking to each other about the game. It's like back in the day when you were young and you didn't have the internet all the time, you know, and I personally never really experienced this, at least as far as I can remember. But there's all sorts of people who tell you stories about how when they were stumped on a game, they were on the bus the next day and their buddy was like, oh, this is how you do it. Or they were stumped in a game, they were in school, you know, in shop or something, and somebody was like, hey, this is how you do it. This is all it is. So by asking me if the game fails, if you have to go online, or the game do its job, if you have to go online and seek help from your peers, I think yes, it does its job like better than most. Because I truly believe that video games should challenge you. They should challenge your mental prowess. They should challenge your hand-eye coordination. They should challenge you in some way. They should challenge you to learn. They should challenge you to become a better person in some way. I mean, you could argue it doesn't make you a better person to be, you know, better with a fucking keyboard or whatever, or a controller, and be able to play. I know. I'm just saying it betters you as an individual. Like, I couldn't do that before, and now I can. I couldn't beat this boss before, but now I can go in there and absolutely just stomp him. You know, my first time on him, I got my ass kicked, and now I just beat him. Easy. It's no problem anymore. Right? That's how I want video games to challenge me. I don't want to sit there and just be playing through a game that's basically just an experience. Like, and I mean, I'm not saying that can't be a good thing, that there aren't games that deliver on that. I mean, I would say like Transistor, I didn't much enjoy the gameplay, but the experience was fucking awesome, right? The music with the fucking story and the, you know, everything else about that game besides like the minute-to-minute gameplay, which I didn't mind, but it wasn't my go-to. That sort of thing, that definitely works. But, you know, and even in that instance, there's probably some cases where, because it would have been hard on hard, I remember, that was very, you know, you had to take your time, understand every move mattered very much so. But my point is that I want to be challenged. I don't want to just a linear, like, okay, A to B to... The perfect example is like a Call of Duty campaign. I can't explain it any more than that. That's a fucking on-rails experience. You're starting here, you're given very here's the story, here's the setup, and then it gets convoluted as fuck because it's Call of Duty. But you're still given it, and it's like, but the story, the way it plays out is it's start A, go to B, go to C, go to D, level done. Start A, go to B, go to C, go to D, level done. And in that, you know, there's obviously cool things and awesome fucking little variations where, you know, you're in a vehicle or something like that. But it's not a game like Hollow Knight where you could literally hit a point where you don't know where to go in the level. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many options, so many areas for you to go, where you're gonna have to just go explore all of those different areas and see if one of them leads to a new boss or a new place where you haven't been before, right? And so if that's the situation and you're like, fuck, you know, I don't know where it is, I feel like I've been everywhere, and you go look up along, that's not the game failing you. That's the game forcing you to evolve your strategy. That's the game forcing you to seek someone who's already accomplished the task. And that someone teaches you. And you're a better person because now you know how to do it. And now you can do it. And now if someone asks you, then you can tell them how to do it. And it's a very fucking cool thing. Okay? So does a game... It's a loaded question. But I just want to say, in my opinion, if it's like the way Destiny does it, where it's the only place you can get the story, or a huge portion of the game only takes place online, or something like that, then no, the game doesn't do its job. But if it's because the game has challenged you, and has stumped you, and left you feeling dumb, and so you have to go online in order to get smarter and learn something from someone and get taught a strategy or the direction, you know, get a compass from somebody, then yes, the game has done its job. That's my thoughts on that question. It was a cool question. It made me start thinking a lot about all those different things. And I mean, I started thinking about Bloodborne and how there's so much in that I had to look up when I was first going through it, when I was going for like the weapons trophies, and when I was going for the fucking Queen Yarnum. I didn't know how to get to Queen Yarnum. I was like, where the fuck is Queen Yarnum? I've been all over the place, you know, and as far as I know, I didn't miss anybody. But lo and behold, in the Chalice Dungeon. So I'm told, okay, get this Chalice Dungeon, now do this Chalice Dungeon. Eventually it's going to lead to the Chalice Dungeon that she's in, right? I looked that up. Did the game fail? Did the game fail me? No, because if I had the mind to it and I didn't want to be the guy who gave in and went online and looked up help for Bloodborne, if I wanted to be just a hard-headed fuck and be like, okay, well, it must be in the Chalice Dungeons then. That's the only areas I haven't been, and I've explored everything else. And I wasn't even sure if I'd explored everything else that, you know. So someone like that would have gone and explored everything, been like, okay, there's no boss out here. Like, it's not, you know, I was thinking she showed back up where the nurse was or something. No, it was just, you know, I looked, but I wasn't going to go and comb every area. Comb every inch of the fucking desert, as it were. That scene from fucking, oh, that's such a good scene. Oh, Starballs. Is it Starballs? It's Spaceballs. Thank you, Chubbs. Anyway, but that's the thing. So by doing that in Bloodborne, I'm able to get a clear guide about where I'm going. That doesn't mean the game failed me, because it was vaguely hidden in, like, you know, there's so many different Chalice Dungeons, and you get new Chalice Dungeons every time you clear a Chalice Dungeon. You know what I mean? There's no way I could have known unless I just went blind and did it all, and then got to the Defiled Chalice, and, like, if I hadn't known that it was after that, I don't know if I would have fucking pushed through the Defiled Chalice, because that shit was fucking hell. But the point is, yes, the game has done its job. The game has done its job and then some, because you're a better person for having played that game. You're a better gamer, you're more on point, and, you know, the next time you're like, I'm telling you, the more of those games you play, the better you get at them. Like, there's some of them that I've heard people say this is really complicated on, you know, on comments and shit. I watched that. Someone said that about Exile's End. I beat that game in a fucking night. No bullshit. Right? No bullshit. It's just because I play so many of these fucking Metroidvania style games that when there's a wall that looks off and later on down the road I get a grenade, I just remember, okay, well, I need to go back to that wall. Okay? So if you had to look that up, does that mean the game has failed you? No, the game showed you the wall. The game showed you the wall. It showed you that it, like, shook a little bit when you got near it. The game showed you everything you needed to know in order for you to get the grenade and go back and blow up that wall. So, but by looking it up, have you failed? No, I don't think you failed. That's my point. Is like, I can't count how many games, like, I mean, for example, Axiom Verge. I would have never gotten the speedrun trophy in Axiom Verge. Never would have been able to do it if it wasn't for Sin Office and all his videos on it. Like, I never could have done it without, I can't remember the video, but someone else had a little video that I fucking clicked on in the heat of the moment. It was a strategy on how to beat the last boss, and it was the gun that penetrated things. Because I couldn't figure out Synophis's trick. He had a glitch where he'd like glitch into the ceiling and fucking be able to shoot the boss no problem. But anyway, but I mean, does that make me suck? And like, no, it just means Xenophis was better at that game, but now I'm better at games because he taught me how to be better at games by telling me, you know, this is information in order for you to be able to do the speedrun. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm done trying into it. It's fucking, I've been going on for days, guys. Those are my thoughts on that comment. Thank you for watching. Fucking love you guys. Take care. Till next time, kick ass, keep staying safe, stay awesome, but above all, stay smart, everybody. Fucking stress, there's coming to get you. There's coming to fit the